once you left university, once you graduated, what was your plan? Did you have, were you like what area were you planning on going in, and how did you kind of make that decision?
I wanted to go into graduate studies, and I want to teach basically. I want to influence things from the inside, so-called, by studying philosophy specifically, because I thought that, okay, well, if I'm going to attack liberalism, secularism, and so forth, it has to be from the inside. Or
Mm,
like evolution. If I'm going to critique evolution, no one is going to take you seriously unless you are a PhD tenured professor at the university publishing in the best journals and the best publishing houses. That's the only way to make a difference. So
mm,
that's what I believed.
mm,
And so that was my intention. But as I was in the graduate program, I realized that, I was living in a fantasy world, or I was incredibly naive, because actually the university, the secular university in the West, even though it presents itself as this kind of neutral playing field and the best ideas win, there's nothing that further from the truth. Actually, it's a very controlled environment. And if you don't have the right ideas, the correct ideas as determined by the power structure, you're not going to advance. You're not going to be allowed to progress, to get your PhD, to get hired at a university, let alone tenure track, get
mm,
your tenure. There are all of these benchmarks put in place, or blockages that are put in place to prevent you, and make sure that only those who have the right views advance to the next stage.
mm,
So I realized that, oh, this is going to be a nightmare, because I'm constantly butting heads and clashing with these professors,
mm,
and arguing with them in my philosophy classes, whether it's like moral philosophy, political philosophy, metaphysics, even epistemology. All of these, like, you can't really be a Muslim and like, in the sense of your beliefs are dictated by Islam first and foremost. You can't be that type of Muslim in a philosophy department.
mm,
You have to kind of bracket all of your beliefs and put them on the back burner, and express and take seriously all of these kinds of secular philosophies, which are all garbage pretty much. They're all nonsense, but you have to
mm,
pretend. So I thought, oh, this means I have to live a double life. How
mm,
long can I maintain that? And what really scared me is the fact that I knew Muslims who had been in graduate programs at Harvard and elsewhere, and they were living that double life. I knew that they were living that double life,
mm,
and a high percentage of them ended up leaving Islam, or they used to be very conservative, traditional Orthodox Muslims, and then they became these kinds of reform, liberal type of Muslims,
mm,
barely like on the edge of Islam.
mm,
So I was like, is this my future? Like, I'm really rolling the dice
mm,
if I want to just pursue this path. So that was the wake up call for me. And
mm.
alhamdulillah, I'm glad that I didn't go through that.